Good morning, USA.
Yo 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 yo.
Good morning, Angela Yee.
Good morning, DJ Envy.
Charlamagne the God.
Peace to the planet. It's Friday.
Yes, it's Friday. The weekend is here. How y'all feeling?
Tired.
Yeah,
Tired.
Fridays are always like, whoo, we've been working all week.
Yes. I definitely feel blessed, black, and highly favored, but I definitely feel tired as well. But we here, man. It's Friday. What's happening?
It's Friday, man. Yes, it is. What y'all doing for the weekend? Anything? Y'all made plans that fall?
You know what's crazy? I'm supposed to be going to Nashville today, but my flight got canceled. They actually gave me notice yesterday, so then I had to do jump through hoops to get on another flight to be able to land early enough, right on time. But yeah,
Why they
I
cancel
don't know.
the flight?
The big storm in Florida, I think, right? And coming
Yeah, I
down
think
the coast.
it's whether that's affecting incoming flights is affecting flights from landing. So they already know that some flights have been canceled to get to New York. And so the plane won't be here because of other cancellations.
Oh, I'm looking at it now, but I don't be seeing. You know what's so crazy, man? You can watch the news all the time, and I guess with so much going on in the world, especially being that this was a midterm week, I ain't seen nothing about this Hurricane Nicole until I Googled it just now.
Yeah, other than Angela Yee talking about it every day, but you know.
Well, maybe she need to do a better mention because I don't remember that story
She
either.
talked about it every day this week about the storm
I
coming.
heard it. I did not hear it, not one time.
Okay,
Yeah, no,
well,
we definitely talked about it. And we talked about in Florida how in November, I think they said this is the first time in a long time they've had a hurricane in November or something like that.
I'm looking at it. It says a rare November landfall in Florida. Second hurricane to hit Florida this season.
this guy.
We talked about it. I know.
Yeah,
And I went to yesterday. I
Y'all
went
talked
to
about
a
5
pop-up.
people dying. If I'd have heard that, that'd have been different. 5 people got killed because of the hurricane already.
She didn't say 5 people died,
That's
but she
what I'm
talked about
saying.
it's very rare that hurricanes happen in November and that they've been getting people out of there, evacuating people. She talked about all that.
All right,
Yeah,
now
I
I also
know
want
that.
to talk about yesterday I went to Mom's Spaghetti pop-up shop that they're doing for Eminem for the 20-year anniversary of 8 Mile. So that was a pretty cool experience. You know, they have the Mom's Spaghetti. They did it in Detroit, the restaurant, and now they have it in New York. And so it's
really?
a whole interactive experience where you get to take a picture, like the cover of 8 Mile. You get to walk through. You get to try some of Mom's Spaghetti also.
Oh, dope.
20 years since 8 Mile. Lord have mercy.
Yeeks.
Yep.
That sounds about right. Because this weekend, my daughter Madison, she turns, my oldest, of course. I got a 21, a 18, a 9, a 8, a 7, and 11 month, almost a year old. She turns 21 this weekend. So, time flies. Time flies. We're seasoned.
And you get to recreate that scene in the bathroom where he throws up when he's nervous and he's freestyling in the mirror and then he throws up. They have this whole experience where you can, they have it all set up for you to redo that whole scene and then they send it to you. It was cute.
All right, well, let's get the show cracking. Ida Rodriguez will be joining us. Her and Ian Lara.
I said salute to Ida. She was with me last night on my late night talk show. Hell of a week, man, on Comedy Central. Ida's amazing.
That's right. She has a new show called Romantic Comedy. Actually, Ian's special is called Romantic Comedy. It premieres on 11/11 on HBO Max. It's directed by Ida. We're going to be kicking it with her. Oh, that's today, and we're going to be kicking it with her. And then it's Veterans Day, right? Am I right? Today is Veterans Day?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, so salute to all the veterans out there. We actually have, from the Wounded Warrior Project, General Michael S. Lennington. He's going to be joining us and talking about some of the projects they're doing for veterans out there. So let's get the show cracking. Front page news, what we talking about?
All right, we'll talk about Jake Paul and Andrew Tate. They are going to be fighting. It's a fight that's been talked about for a long time, and we'll give you more details.
All right, we'll get into that next. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. It's DJ Envy, Angela Yee, Charlamagne the God. We are The Breakfast Club. Let's get in some front page news. Now, in Thursday night football, the Panthers beat the Falcons 25-15. All right, now, the Wizards beat the Mavericks, the Hawks beat the 76ers, Heat beat the Hornet, and the Trailblazers beat the Pelicans. Now, what else we got, Easy?
All right, well, Jake Paul and Andrew Tate, they are negotiating to come face-to-face, and they are going to fight. So looks like that is going to happen. People have wanted that to happen. It's been talked about for a while. As a matter of fact, Andrew Tate had offered Jake Paul $3 million to fight last year, But Jake Paul had other opponents in mind at the time. And Jake Paul is coming off of a win over former MMA star Anderson Silva. That did, by the way, only get between 200 and 300,000 pay-per-view buys. And so recently he had said that turnout was kind of upsetting. But Andrew Tate has gotten a lot of controversy for his posts online, and he's been banned from several platforms like Twitter. He's attacked victims of sexual assault, claimed depression isn't real, and has also said that he is both a sexist and a misogynist. Now, Jake Paul has said that he doesn't believe in all of that and his sexism, but also said that his social media bans are censorship.
That right there is probably going to break a lot of pay-per-view records. I mean, if their YouTubes are any indication, if they're as popular on YouTube and that translates into people buying the fight, they should sell a lot more than what Jake Paul and Anderson Silva did.
All right, well, those negotiations are underway. And Phil Knight, the co-founder and chairman of Nike, has said that he believes that the relationship they have with Kyrie Irving is likely over.
Kyrie stepped over the line. It's kind of that simple. And so he made some statements that we just can't abide by, and that's why we ended the relationship. And yeah, I was fine with that.
All right, this was on CNBC. He was doing an interview, and when asked about Kyrie, he said that when signing athletes, they consider not only how good the athlete is, but also the kind of character the individual displays. And he said it's not an exact science, but it's a process that we go through with a lot of intensity and with a lot of people sticking their hand in it. So right now it's a pause, but he says that he doesn't see them going back.
You know, that is so performative. And the reason it's so performative is because Nike said back in May they probably wouldn't be renewing Kyrie's contract, and they said that it was his consistent time off the court and that he's made it extremely. They said his consistent time off the court has made it extremely difficult to market his sneaker. And remember, Kyrie called Nike out on social media and said that the new shoes were trash.
He said he didn't see the designs. Yep.
Yeah, and Nike said he was unpredictable. They said Kyrie was too unpredictable back in May. So this is very performative for him to get out here and act like it's this situation that caused him to sabotage. They literally said back in May they probably wasn't going to be renewing his contract.
Now, LeBron has also clarified his stance on Kyrie Irving. A lot of people were coming at him for what he said previously, where he said he apologized, but he caused some harm. I think it's unfortunate. I don't stand on the position to harm people when it comes to your voice or your platform. Well, he went on social media now. He went on Twitter and he said, I told you guys that I don't believe in sharing hurtful information, and I'll continue to be that way. But Kyrie apologized and he should be able to play. That's what I think. It's that simple. Help him learn, but he should be playing. What he's asked to do to get back on the floor, I think, is excessive. In my opinion, he's not the person that's being portrayed of him. Anyways, back to my rehab session.
What did LeBron say different on Twitter? LeBron's statement at the press conference was fine too. Y'all be trying to put words in people's mouth and make them say exactly what y'all want them to say. What do you want LeBron to say in that situation, other than what he's been saying?
Mm-hmm. Some people were trying to say he threw him under the bus, but it didn't feel like that.
No, he didn't. He didn't at all.
I didn't feel like that at all. Also, Phil Knight is lying, and he's lying because what statement did Kyrie make? Kyrie didn't make any statements. You know, Kyrie posted a documentary actually without any statement, without any context. You can't tell me that anything in those press conferences he might have said was over the line. You think it was something he said in the press conference was over the line?
Right. Well, that is your front page news.
All right. Get it off your chest. 800.
Real quick, the problem with this situation is because it's a climate that Kanye West created and Kyrie got caught up in. But Kyrie and Kanye's situation are totally different.
Absolutely.
To me personally. And,
I agree.
Kyrie has apologized, and, he should be able to play. He should be able to play. After, he
has definitely apologized. He's been suspended. So let's get back to business.
Right.
But the company that he works for wants him to do those 6 things before he gets back on the court, right?
Yeah, and that's the Nets. That's up to the Nets. The Nets. Clearly the Nets have other issues with Kyrie outside of this statement, and they're using this statement, to
penalize
get him in line, basically. Yeah,
to penalize him. Absolutely.
That's what I think.
All right. Get it off your chest. 800-585-1051. If you need to vent, hit us up right now. Again, It's Friday. If you're feeling away, if you're upset, you're feeling good, whatever it may be, get it off your chest. 800-585-1051 is the Breakfast Club. Good morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Wake up, wake up. Wake your ass.
This is your time to get it off your chest. Whether you're mad or blessed, we want to hear from you on The Breakfast Club.
Hello, who's this?
This Emery again. I caught y'all again. Good morning to all three of y'all. How about
Emery,
that,
why
man?
you yelling? Why you yelling, King? Come on, simmer down, King.
It's hype. It's Friday.
I am excited. It's Scorpio season. My birthday tomorrow. Today my best friend's birthday. Shout out to Quila on her birthday, man. I'll be 33. Blessing. You know, I just wanted to get off my chest. Thank you. I just wanted to get off my chest. You know, I got this Facebook page out right now. It's called A Felon, Not a Failure. Yes, I am a felon, but I'm not a failure. You know what I'm saying? I drive trucks.
I like that.
You know, I do my thing, and I'm just blessed, man. So if anybody out there, y'all want to come, hear y'all story, you know, to inspire other people who have been arrested or anything that served time, and they out here feel like they having a hard time. You know, it's people out here that, you know, overcame everything, and I just want, you know what I'm saying, to share that with anybody who felt like they can't get that foot through the door. You know what I'm saying? So I'm trying to be that person to get them know to keep going, never give up. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. All right, brother. Thank you. Hello, who's this?
Good morning, Breakfast Club. How y'all doing? This is Dingo giving you a call from Dingo's 0925 Streetwear Clothing. How y'all feeling?
What up, Dingo?
Hey, we chilling, man. We chilling. Just wanted to call in, man. I see y'all up there real tired today, man. I get it. It's Friday. It's been a long week.
Yes,
it
has.
A little energy. What's going on with y'all, man? How y'all feeling?
I'm good, Dingo, man.
Hey,
I'm
good.
trying to get my
glad
coffee
y'all
machine working.
I feel you on that. Angela, did you watch those movies that I recommended?
I haven't even had a chance yet, but I did write them down.
Okay, good. That's fair enough. Nothing wrong with that. Just as long as you check them out. I know it's past Halloween, but hey, we in there. Envy. Looking forward to that car show, man. I really want to try to take that trip down. And why are you playing Chicago, bro? Why you not trying to bring a show down here? We gonna bring you a great show. When's the next car show in Chicago, fam?
You know what?
Cars in Chicago?
Yeah, they got cars in Chicago. They got cars every city.
Yeah, we got cars in Chicago. Are you kidding me? We got the best of everything because everybody from all over the country, they come here and they bring all their cars here. You feel me?
You know what it is? You gotta pay to get the cars down there, and you gotta find the venue and all that. It's not as easy as you think. Most venues, they do it outdoor. I do my stuff indoor, so if it rains or if there's a problem, but we trying to work city to city. We go give it some time, man. We only started this car show 3 years ago. We'll be there soon.
Brother. McCormick Place in Chicago will hold your event. That's where they do the auto show and all that good stuff. So you definitely need to check out the McCormick Place. They'll be more than happy to accommodate you, brother. And you black too, so they love working with black folks. I promise you. You're definitely gonna get that gig. I promise you.
Yeah, we're gonna try to get to every city, man. We trying, man. We trying to plan it out, brother.
Appreciate it, Uncle Charlotte. Hey, man, I appreciate you always. I've been on my mental health journey because of you. And, it's really been helping me out with my business and staying positive and staying focused on that. So I do appreciate you. Also, I wanted to
love my brother.
I wanted to bug you, brother, for a Black Effect snapback, man. I do a radio show coming up, and I'd love to rock it on my show, man. Thank you.
We're going to send you the Black Effect snapback, man.
Hold on, all right?
Put my guy on hold and send him the snapback.
All right, get it off your chest. 800-585-1051. If you need the vent, hit us up now. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Peace.
Power 105.1. This is your time to get it off your chest, whether you're mad or blessed.
So you better have the same energy.
We want to hear from you on The Breakfast Club.
Hello, who's this?
Good morning, DJ Envy, Charlamagne, God, and Angela. How y'all doing this morning?
What's up, brother?
I was just really calling to piggyback off what Charlamagne was talking about the Kyrie situation, man. Now, I do feel like they're going too far with what they're trying to do to him. He did, he apologized in so many words, but it just bothers him that everybody on Kyrie head like this, but nobody said too much of anything about the Brett Favre situation.
Well, people have been talking about the Brett Favre situation, but like I said earlier in the week during Donkey of the Day, it's up to it's up to social media to make those stories like Brett Favre bigger. Because I don't know if social media realizes it. Once something hits the news and then they take it on social media and amplify it, that's what makes it a story for days and days and days and days and days. There's nobody talking about the Brett Favre situation on social media because we too busy talking about Kyrie.
Yeah, you're 100% right. Like, I don't see nothing about it on Facebook, nothing. Like, on no social media platform, I don't see anything about Brett Favre.
Because it's in the mainstream news. It's in the national news. I just did Donkey of the Day today for the university. Up this week for the University of Southern Mississippi because they don't even want to give the money back. And they got the nerve to say, well, the people can use the facility. Like, what?
Oh, wow. Yeah, I missed that one.
Mm-hmm.
All right, brother. Have a good one, man. Hello, who's this?
What's up, man? It's your boy Crypto Quavo.
What's up, man? Get it off your chest.
Crypto. You still got a lot of crypto?
Yeah. Now, I wanted to talk about the rules of the road. If you're on the highway and you're in the left lane and it's a car behind you, you need to get over to the right. You're slowing down the traffic. People got places to go. People late for work. People got cargo got to get delivered. If you're on the road and you're on the fast lane, you need to get over to the right. If the cars are trying to get by you, you got to know the rules of the road out here on the highway.
I agree with you. You in the truck now, brother?
No, I'm in my car. I'm in a sports car. I'm late for work, so I'm trying to get to work. And, traffic is out here, so I'm down.
All right, brother. Well, be safe out there on the road. Don't let nobody piss you off and do nothing stupid. Hello, who's this?
This Kyle calling out of Newark. How y'all doing this morning?
Brick City, what up? Get it off your chest.
Well, I just want to give a shout out to my wife. We got an anniversary coming up next week.
Hey.
November 18th. It'll be 2 years we've been married.
Congratulations, King.
And that's my person. I want to give a shout out to all three of y'all doing y'all thing. Envy, Yee, Charlamagne. I just believe that everything you do, good, manifested into the universe, it comes back good to you. I also want to give a shout out to her Instagram out there, d.mace. She's got a new song coming out. That's out now called Love Games. You can find it on all the platforms. So, D-Mace, Love Games.
Okay. Love Games.
All right, brother. Have a good one.
All right. Y'all have a good day.
You too now.
You too.
Get it off your chest. 800-585-1051. Now we got rumors on the way.
All right, and let's show some love for Mia J. She was Young Dolph's partner, and it's been almost a year since he was killed. And she went on Instagram to talk about what she and the kids have been up to and how they've been facing a lot of challenges.
All right, we'll get into that next. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Angela Yee, Charlamagne the Guy. We are The Breakfast Club. Good morning. Charlamagne.
Yes, sir.
How was Joe Coy?
The hell are you talking about?
You promised Joe Coy you was going to go to his show November 10th, which was last night.
Oh, my God. Man, I forgot about that. Lord have mercy.
Yo.
Jesus Christ. I totally forgot about that. Oh, my God. Man, life is busy, bro. I was shooting my TV show yesterday.
You promised him. You sat here on his head.
Well, I forgot. I don't know what to tell you. That's why.
Did anybody remind him?
Nobody remind. I didn't even think about it. Damn, my bad, Joe.
Envy, why you ain't tell him yesterday?
I forgot.
I'll catch Joe somewhere though. I mean, he's on a world tour. I'll catch him somewhere. We got the holidays coming up. I'll catch Joe somewhere.
Damn
you don't have to be in New York.
You just promised him. But let's get to the rumors. Let's go.
It's time. She's spilling the tea. This is the Rumor Report with Angela Yee on The Breakfast Club.
All right, a third suspect has been indicted in connection with the death of young Dolph. On Thursday, yesterday, less than a week away from the one-year anniversary of when this all happened, 43-year-old Hernandez Govan was indicted on charges of first-degree murder, attempted first-degree murder, and conspiracy to commit first-degree murder. He's the third person to be indicted on murder charges. Two other suspects, Justin Johnson or Cornelius Smith, were arrested just days after the shooting. They were both also hit with the charge of first-degree murder and attempted first-degree murder. All right, and in the midst of all this, like we said, November 17th would be the 1 year since young Dolph was killed, and his partner Mia J went on Instagram to give more insight into what she's been going through with their two children. Here's what she had to say.
Today is a week from the anniversary of me losing Adolph. And anybody know as a parent, like mothers get that end of the stick to where kids challenge mothers. Thing is with my children, the things that they experiencing is because, like, they're going through hurt and they feeling like something. It's just unfair. They don't deserve it. We didn't deserve it. And it's like it's getting thicker and heavier the closer we get it, man. And I just get mad. Why do we have to go through this? Because somebody felt that it'd be better to just take somebody's life, dog. And then you get down to it, the reasoning behind it, whatever. It's never good enough. And it's like me advocating for black men deserve to grow old. Me saying this, it's like I be asking myself, is it gonna ever change?
It's a damn shame that young Dolph murder feels like it was years ago to us. It feels like that to us, the general public. But you listen to that trauma and that woman's voice, that family has to deal with that grief and that trauma every single day. Every single day. For us, it feels like something that happened a long time ago. For her, it feels like yesterday.
Yeah.
God bless that family, man. Definitely sending that family healing energy. And she's right. Why do we have to keep going through this? For what? What are y'all killing each other over? Why?
Now, she also posted, it is effed up that someone felt they had the right to take a man's life when they have no ability to create life. It's effed up that my daughter, and especially my son, is heavily grieving not having a father anymore. For my son, who is growing into manhood, he looks to the man in his life to show him how. And considering that he had the best, dopest, most solid father any little black boy would dream of having, it ain't a mentor around who replace what he had. So she does ask that we continue to keep...
I think we lost you.
She lost you. Listen, I don't even know if these people realize what they are doing when they raise that gun and pull that trigger. Like when you pull that trigger, do you even understand the consequences of your actions? Do you even understand how not only are you about to take somebody's life and ruin a whole bunch of families' life, ruin a whole bunch of generations, what you're about to do to your life and your generational lineage? Do y'all even understand?
You know, we was talking about that yesterday with Van Lathan after Hip Hop Homicides, and I was saying that, like, the way people could just pick up a gun and just shoot somebody, just like life is just whatever. Like, it just doesn't make sense that you hate somebody or you want something that bad that you want to end their life.
And you're ending your own in the process.
You're right.
Because you're going to get caught, bro. You're going to get caught, and they're going to put you in the jail forever. That's what the judge is going to say. You sentenced forever. You're never coming home.
That's right.
All right, now, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Oh, okay. An exhibit, soon-to-be ex-wife, is suing him for allegedly breaking their oral. She said that he had committed to provide lifelong financial support for her. Krista Joyner and Exhibit broke up last year. And Krista Joyner, she said during the time the parties maintained their relationship, Exhibit would combine his skills, efforts, labor, and earnings and would share equally with her, and all property acquired and accumulated by him or by and through any entity in which he had an interest or which increased in value or was entitled thereafter to acquire or accumulate. So in case of the event that their relationship ended, all of the property acquired should be divided equally between them, regardless of how the title was formally held. So she's saying that he promised her this orally, and she did serve as his confidant, companion, social and business partner, homemaker, housekeeper, and consultant in connection with financial and family matters.
Do oral commitments stand up in court?
If it's proven,
I am not sure.
If it's proven, but you know, they go with the prenup. What was on that paperwork? You can say whatever you say because it's my word versus your word. But if it's a prenup, they're gonna go by with that prenup.
Clearly, ain't no prenup, right?
Yeah, they actually did for 20 years, and they were married for 6 years. So I don't know what's going to happen, but he's making a lot of money from the cannabis industry also. So according to what she says, she believes that he's hiding his assets and that he makes $1 million every month. All right, and that is your rumor report.
All right, thank you, Missy. Now we got front page news. Next, what we talking about?
All right. Well, there was a noose found at the Obama Presidential Center construction site. It's a building, and they have suspended operations after a noose was found there. And they're also offering a reward to find out who was responsible.
All right. We'll get to that next. And also, shout to Nas. Nas released his album last night, King's Disease 3. We're going to get a joint off that album. It's called Done. And it's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
The Breakfast Club. Your mornings will never be the same.
Right now, get the lowest prices of the season on a great night's sleep during Mattress Firm's Veterans Day sale. Save up to 60% on select mattresses, plus get free and fast delivery. Visit a store near you or mattressfirm.com today.
That was Nas off his album that came out last night, King's Disease Part 3. Good looking for the shout out to me, Clue, and Camilo. Some of Queen's finest right there.
I feel like it's King's Disease Part 77.
Right?
Like him and Hit Boy be dropping.
Yeah, they be cooking. All right, well, let's get in some front page.
Oh, yeah, because they had other projects, too. That's why. They had the Magic Project. What else? They definitely had the Magic Project.
Okay. Well, let's get in some front page news. Now, last night, did you watch the game by any chance?
I was taping my show. I was on set last night.
Okay, I was trying to get you. I was trying to see if you said I was watching the game and didn't go to Joe Coy's thing. But last night in Thursday night football, the Panthers beat the Falcons 25-15. What else we got, Easy?
All right. Well, Adidas and the Anti-Defamation League have created an anti-bigotry curriculum for student athletes. And they are going to enlist athletes to fight anti-Semitism. They announced this yesterday, the president of the announcement. And in front of more than 2,000 people at the Jacob Javits Center, Rupert Campbell, who's the president of Adidas North America, denounced the anti-Semitic comments made by Kanye West. And they said, first, we acknowledge that we don't always get things right. The racist and anti-Semitic hate speech by our former partner violated our values. We took action to begin dismantling the partnership. This took time given the complexity of the partnership, but we remain committed to living our values. The past few weeks have been quite difficult, according to the regional director of the Anti-Defamation League of New York and New Jersey, Scott Richmond. He said, if you're not Jewish, be prepared to assert yourself as an ally because our struggle is your struggle. It's America's struggle. And according to Jonathan Greenblatt, who is the CEO of the Anti-Defamation League, he said they tracked a 34% increase in anti-Jewish acts in 2021. He said that was the highest number we've seen in more than 40 years of doing this work. This is no longer a situation of concern. This is a state of emergency. All right. So, yes, I guess now the student athletes
You said the ADL and Reebok?
No, Adidas.
Oh, I thought you said Reebok. I was wondering. I was like, what kind you got to do with Reebok?
I thought you said Reebok, too.
Yeah, I thought you said Reebok. I was like, what kind you got to do with Reebok?
Oh, I could have sworn I said Adidas, but maybe I didn't. All right. And at the Obama Presidential Center, they suspended operations yesterday after a noose was found on the site. They did offer a $100,000 reward to help find out who was responsible. Lakeside Alliance, a partnership of Black-owned construction firms, said they reported the incident to the police, and they'll provide any assistance required to help identify those responsible. The firm said we have zero tolerance for any form of bias or hate on our work site. Anti-bias training is included in our onboarding process and reiterated during site-wide meetings. We are suspending all operations on site in order to provide another series of these trainings and conversations for all staff and workers. Now, President Barack Obama's foundation also released a statement. They said this shameless act of cowardice and hate is designed to get attention and divide us. Our priority is protecting the health and safety of our workforce.
I wonder why they would stop. You know, that's what they would want, right? That's what the whole idea of putting the noose there is to try to get them to stop construction. I wonder why they would stop. And especially if anybody looking into real estate, the area around that is prime real estate. If you can get some pieces, it's our community. But if you can continue to hold our community, it's right near the water. It's right near where they're building that library. It's a beautiful area over there.
Well, I guess they wanted to make sure, like they said, they do these trainings and conversations for all staff and workers and also find out who was responsible and make sure that everybody's safe.
You know, all of this is so exhausting, man. Like when I hear these stories about anti-black racism, anti-Semitism, all of it is exhausting. It's like when I hear these things, I don't even know what to say anymore. Like it just feels repetitive to keep saying, oh, you know, racism is wrong, bigotry is wrong. We know this. You just want to get a infinity gauntlet and just snap away all the bigots.
All right. Well, that is your front page news.
All right. I don't have any other answers.
No, nothing at all.
Like really, I don't have no other answers at this point, bro.
Yeah, I just hate the fact that
man.
They're building something special out there, and then, you know, they just stop it because of this. And, you know, I kind of feel like that's what they want. They want us to stop building that. They want us to move that. You know, continue building it. It's beautiful. That's how it is.
I agree. Like, because it's almost like you're letting the bigots win, right?
Correct.
No, I get
that's what it feels like. All right. Now, when we come back, Ida Rodriguez and Ian Lara will be joining us. He has a special on HBO Max called Romantic Comedy, and it's directed by Ida. It comes out today, so we're going to kick it with them when we come back, so don't move. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Two guests in the building.
Yes, indeed.
We have Ida Rodriguez back in the building.
That accent was
I was
so
trying to get about Rodriguez. I couldn't get it.
Why did you even do that? Like, why? Like, I don't even know the point of that. Why roll the R?
I'm trying to get my
But why roll the R? That makes no sense. You've never rolled the R ever.
I tried, though.
Do it again.
Jesus Christ.
No, I'm not doing it anymore.
Okay.
And
Ian
Lara.
Who, by the way, is Dominican.
Right.
Dominican?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
And from Queens.
Dominican from Queens. I'm like the real envy. I'm like, would you say he is? Dominican from Queens.
I just thought you was black.
Yeah.
See?
I am.
know.
I'm black. I mean, yeah.
Don't start with the erasure.
Yeah, right away. We getting into it.
I didn't know. I just didn't know he was Dominican. I just, when I saw him, he was like, "What up?" I just.
Yeah, I said that.
You said people always ask you though, like, you sure you're not part a little?
Yeah, people always they just assume I'm, because black gets equated with African American, like only,
Yeah,
but
that's
it's so
right.
much different things. So
Afro Latino.
Yeah, so I claim being black. I mean, I'm black everywhere I go. It's like,
So you the
black.
real DJ every day.
Yeah, right, from Queens. Yeah, South Side.
I'm not.
No, he is Dominican.
Well,
Where your daddy from?
Not Dominican.
Dominica.
Where your daddy from?
Dominica.
Okay.
A little
Oh,
bit.
he's French. You got colonized by the French.
That's right. Now we know why you so red.
Yeah.
There we go.
Right away, talking colonizers. We get right into it.
I'm on brand.
This is great.
No, but my best friend is from, her family's from Dominica. So I'm familiar.
I've never been yet.
Those are beautiful people.
Yeah, you should go.
I know.
Envy, you need to go
I know.
see it. It's a whole different feeling when you get to see your culture, like Ida did when you went to when you filmed Fighting Words, and you went to Puerto Rico and you went to the Dominican Republic. It's just seeing like that and filming it and documenting it is a whole different thing.
Yeah, seeing your people and seeing our people all over the world, looking different, speaking different dialects, but still belonging to one whole thing that I hope we find some solidarity, because America about to be over in 37 days.
And we don't even realize it. I keep trying to tell everybody it's us versus fascism, but nobody wants to believe it.
Why you say 37 days?
Because it seems like it's almost over, right?
Yeah, I hope not. This special coming out, I need at least 3 months with the special. Then America could do whatever it wants.
Let's talk about the special.
Romantic comedy.
Yeah, romantic comedy on HBO, directed by the great Ida Rodriguez. I'm excited to be out November 11th, Friday. This is, by the way, I gotta say this is such a big deal for me, because I used to work at the airport. Like, before I did comedy, I worked at LaGuardia Airport, and at 3 different times I brought all y'all bags when y'all was traveling through LaGuardia Airport. Yeah, I brought it to you guys. Like, you guys were at the thing. Yeah, you guys were all cool. You guys, Angela, you was like blessed, whatever. You didn't look me in my eyes, but everybody else is good. Everybody else is really cool.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, Envy was like, "Don't look me straight. Just put the bag down and walk away." But you guys were both so cool. Nah.
People don't forget stuff like that.
No,
he's not.
Nah, you didn't do that. You was with your whole family though. You had like your whole family. Like, yeah, it was like 15 deep.
20 deep on that one.
Yeah.
So I wanted to ask you, right? Since you said the airport, how many times do people go through bags in the airport?
Never.
What question is that?
Did you just accuse him of stealing?
I didn't say him, but I had stuff stolen at the airport. I'm sure everybody did, but I was just curious: is it normal? And how do they
I worked there for 7 years. Shout out to the ramp crew at LaGuardia Airport. I never seen anybody go through a bag ever.
He's just trying to accuse you of.
Try to accuse.
And your whole squad.
Yeah, I know. You're just like, y'all all thieves. I work for Delta though. I don't know. You be on you Spirit or
Delta,
oh, okay, yeah. All right, nah. At Delta that don't happen. At Delta that don't happen. We never go through nobody bags.
One time at Delta.
Who?
I don't know.
I need names because I still got connections over there. I found out.
Why would somebody steal your underwear?
They thought he was cute. It's easy answer.
It's witchcraft. Somebody buried them in their yard.
I hope not.
And they still waiting.
Now, Ida, can we talk about your deal though? Because you actually so
Directed.
Ian, the special romantic comedy is coming out, but you also are producing comedy specials for other comedians too.
So we did 3. Ian was the first. We did a comedian named Marcela Arguello. You were at the tapings. And then 2 newer comics who won this competition and did these 15-minute specials. Ralph Barbosa, who's getting a lot of shine right now.
Yeah, shout out Ralph.
Gwen LaRocca, who's from Chicago. And these are Latino comedians that are not the typical Latino comedians that you're used to seeing. Ian walked in here straight up in, standing firm in his blackness. having a very specific experience. And I think that we need to hear more voices instead of listen, more power to everybody who's been getting the love. But there is a big ass spectrum of Latinidad, and I want people to see us in all of our fullness. And Black is part of the spectrum, as I always speak about. So I like to talk about it. And Ian and I have a very special connection. He's my family.
Oh, y'all actually related?
No.
Oh,
we are related.
Well, her dad is running in Dominican. We haven't done the DNA test. It might be.
Knowing my father.
Her dad was a king in DR, but no. I met Ida when I was 2 years into comedy. We had the same manager, and already we clicked right away.
But what got you into comedy?
I was at the airport and I just didn't want to keep bringing y'all bags. I was like, if Envy told me to look away one more time, I went to college. I was pre-law in college. I was supposed to go to law school. I had a political science major, and then my senior year, I just people was like, yo, you funny? Class clown type of stuff, and they was like, go try comedy, you should try it. And then I just tried it in New York City, and I just fell in love with it.
Was your first show?
Well, how come you act like you didn't know about politics when you was on Hell of a Week?
I was playing that character because you had me on with Killer Mike and Tara, and they went on a 30-minute dissertation on Atlanta politics, right? And I'm like, I'm not doing that anymore. And also, that wasn't my role in that show. I was like, they got the politics. I'm gonna be this guy that just pretends that he has no idea what's going on. So I was kind of doing the character.
I get it.
By the way, I'm so glad that I'm doing this after you guys evolved, because I've been watching you guys for a long time, and it's very different now. Because I remember when I did your show, we cut to commercial break, and we was talking. I was like, I feel like I don't belong on this panel, and you was like, nah, you belong right where you are, brother. You need to be sure of where you are. And I was like, damn, this is so cool that Charlamagne is this Charlamagne and not, the Charlamagne he was to Safari when he came up here. I was like, thank God he's evolved. And
Safari belongs here too. He just didn't belong here rapping.
Found therapy.
That's all.
How was your first show when you decided, when your family and friends said you're a comedian and you booked your first show?
I mean, my family and friends, they didn't find out about it so I was doing it for 3-4 years before they even found out. Because when you start doing comedy, it's like, you're like a drug dealer. You don't want nobody to know. It's like, you're like embarrassed about it. You're like, you don't want nobody to know till you. Right. So my first one, I just went with my cousin. We just went to an open mic, and you don't know anything. When you're ignorant to what you're doing, it seems like as well, but obviously you look back and I was like, that wasn't, I wouldn't want that recorded and out there for sure.
You didn't get booed though.
No, I haven't got booed.
Talking and not paying attention.
No, people paid attention. People paid attention. Yeah, it was a good first.
The first time is always great.
Yeah.
It's the second time.
Right.
Where you eat.
Right. Because the first time I was like, maybe I'm Chris Rock.
I'm trying to be. It's an expression when they say you eat a dick on stage, that means you bombed. Because apparently eating a dick is bad for you. But it's always that first time.
What?
I said I was
comedy is crazy.
I was going to be nonsense today.
Comedy crazy.
I
ain't no standard was like that. I thought it was. Of course, no. They know what you're talking about.
I need to go.
I thought they said you got to eat a to make it in Hollywood.
That part. Wow. And so the funny thing is, the first time is that adrenaline rush. You got it all in you. Everything you've been wanting to get out, you do so great. That second time, that's when reality knocks on the door and says, you don't know what a premise is, you don't know what a punchline is, you feeling yourself. And then, you have to die on stage. And then that's when you decide
if this is for you or not.
If this is for you.
All right, we got more with Ida Rodriguez and Ian Lara when we come back. So don't move. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning. Hey, it's DJ Envy, Angela Yee, Charlamagne the Guy. We are The Breakfast Club. We're still kicking it with Ida Rodriguez and Ian Lara. His special romantic comedy premieres today. All right, Charlamagne?
What does directing a special mean? Because I always see that, you see Spike Lee directed this special. What is directing a comedy special?
So we was having this conversation, remember? Because what HBO said? Yeah. Well, I'm not going to say what HBO said.
Go ahead, talk. I'm going to let you talk.
Well, from my perspective, I didn't know either, though, because going in, I was like, because they was like a director, and I was like, what do they do? They just be like, hey, do this. But working with Ida, it is everything, especially for me, because I wasn't at the point where I could walk into HBO and ask for things that I needed. But Ida's just a boss. Everyone is they don't want to say no to Ida. So me and Ida would talk. I would be like, hey, Ida, I would like this. Ida would be like, give me a second. She'll get on the phone and it'll be done in like a second. So it's so much from like the cameras, the lighting. Like I'm a dark skinned person, so I've done special. I look at it and I'm like, I'm not lighted well. Like I'm like, this camera's for light, fair skinned people. I'm not that. There's a certain way you light a black comedian. There's a certain way, a certain angle. You got to capture their essence too. Like when you go see me, you want to in a visually, you want to capture what it is as much as you can, what it is to see them in person. And I feel like in this special, it captures me 100%. Like if y'all don't like it, y'all don't like it. But that's the best that I am is in that special. That's the best that I am right now at this point.
Ida? What is directing?
It's his launch pad. So, I think directing it's so funny because someone was just telling me about how someone else was saying, oh, all she did was point at the monitors. And I'm like, I've been on Zoom calls for months prior to that, discussing every aspect of how he's going to come to light. But, listening and paying attention to them and seeing what they how they want to be seen. If you watch Gerard Carmichael, Bo did a great job lighting him. He looked beautiful in Nathaniel. Like the way that he lit that black man, which is important to how somebody feels about themselves when you see somebody take the time to say, let's make sure you see his face because he's giving you him. There's no set, there's no props. It's just him. So I think directing is, just being a vessel for greatness. And for me, I'm humbled and thankful that he trusted me and they trusted me and that Edwin Lacona trusted me and that Viva Pictures trusted me and that HBO Max trusted me and the multicultural team trusted me to just go out and say, hey, let me show this. Let me show y'all what I see when I see him.
It's crazy that you said that, right? Because we don't think about that. We just think about the special, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Joe Coy was up here a couple of months ago. He talked about how difficult it was to find somebody that can light things right.
Yeah.
And to find the right sound when somebody talks through a mic. So he actually said he had to go to different shows to see how lights were and I like this person's light, so we hired that person and go to different shows to say, I like the way it sounded with this one. And you don't realize how difficult that is. We take that for granted from somebody looking from the outside, but I'm sure it's very difficult to figure that stuff out.
Well, I've been on the other side of it, so I know what it feels like. I'm a tall woman and you can make me look goofy as if you put the cameras on me the wrong way. And Marcella, who I directed, also is 6'2". So I was like, make sure you don't cut her head off. Make sure you don't cut their hands off. The microphone is the tool that a comedian uses. You can't just cut the limbs off. My son told me that, it's a very interesting thing. I heard him when he was talking about lighting and how important that was. Those of us who have this light skin privilege or whatever it is that we call it now, we don't worry about not being properly lit. It's automatic, right? But when you are of a darker hue, that is something that's not automatic. And it's as 2022 as we like to be, that's something we still talking about. And so for me, I heard him. So I was like, we're going to make sure. And the DP was generous enough and kind enough to listen. He was. And he went about and did whatever he needed to do to make it happen. And I'm grateful for that because it doesn't happen like that. It's very much a problem in Hollywood, improperly lighting dark-skinned people.
How important is the audience for you, too, when you're filming a special? Because that's something we have to think about, too.
Yeah, I mean, the audience, for me, I was just like, I had toured all over the country. Like, I took the show everywhere, and I was pretty confident, like, if you put me in front of a audience, like, especially in my hometown, I'm from New York, like a New York audience, I was pretty confident that it would go well, like, because I've done it so many times. And also, a special is like a show, so they're ready, there's warm-up, there's cameras. A lot of times, they're like, very excited to go, and luckily, we had 2 great shows. We pretty much kept the first show, right? We just did the first show, but the second show was just as good. And I think it's so cool, like also to piggyback off what Ida said, working with like, not even on some race stuff, but like just working with people. Like when I did your show, everybody that worked for your show is like black, and if they're like black makeup artists, it's like such a relief because I'm like, there's stuff I don't have to worry about that I had to worry about what I work with, like, white, and it's not because they're racist, they just don't know that there's a difference. And even like with a director doesn't necessarily always do this, but I remember I did a fitting for the special and I was wearing this jacket and like all the people who were there who were not minorities was like, this looks great. This looks great. You're going to look great. It looks great on camera. And I left and I was like, all right, cool. I got my outfit. And then like 3 hours later, Ida called me like, where'd you get this jacket? this looks cheap. You're not going to perform in this. It looks bad on camera. You can't do this. He's like, I know it's an expensive jacket, but you can't do this. You got to find another jacket.
And to that point, somebody who's not of that culture would probably just let you go up there with that jacket.
Right.
Because they don't even want to tell you it's whack.
Right.
Like, well,
then I would have been on YouTube getting roasted.
That's
like,
right.
where he get this jacket
Right.
by Black Twitter. So he saved me on that one. So
it starts at the top, though. Like, to your point, it's like my showrunner is black, and then, Bianca's brown. Rachel and Bianca, and they fill in the blanks. So
yeah.
When you see that black and brown staff, it's because of them too.
Yeah.
And also, it wasn't so. It did look bad. The quality didn't come through. It didn't complement his skin tone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I know that was an issue for him. So I'd rather tell him that because I love him and I want him to win than to be, let him not say anything and then have him suffer later,
Right.
which I think is something that as a village people we should be doing for one another, because you've seen people and you like, oh, why did Faison wear that on the red carpet? Faison is my brother, and you're like, why he do that? And or whoever it is, I'm not picking on him. I just say his name because he's my friend and I can use that as an example. So I don't know if he wore something crazy on the red carpet or not, but I'm saying you can instead. I'll be like, yo, don't do that.
Yeah. What'd you do with the jacket, Ian?
I still got it. I got to pull that out for something else. I still got it because it don't look good on camera.
Yeah.
It look good in person. In person, you're like it's cool, but it has like a gloss to it that it don't look good on camera. But I did lose confidence in it. I haven't wore it since. I did lose a lot of confidence in it. No, I'm working on it. I got to build up. Maybe
post a picture so we can see what it.
I'll post a picture of it. I'm gonna get roasted. Then it's gonna defeat the whole purpose.
The reason I love this is because this is how you kind of got your break, right? With Tiffany and the whole They Ready thing.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It was Tiffany who put us on and made sure we got paid like our male counterparts. Mm-hmm. And that's always been, our thing. That throwing back the rope is something we've been talking about before we made it. Of course, they're always going to say, well, Tiffany, because Tiffany's famous and she has a big name, but she knows it. We know it. We talked about it. We always just said whoever goes first, and she went first. And so that's always been the thing. And for me, there's a whole section of Latinos that you never get to see, and that's going to always be my mission, merging black and brownness, creating pathways and solidarity, because all of this stuff bleeds into everything that's happening.
All right, we got more with Ida Rodriguez and Ian Lara when we come back, so don't move. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning. Hey, Envy, Angela Yee, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. We're still kicking it with Ida Rodriguez and Ian Lara. His special romantic comedy premieres today. All right? So you talk about your relationship. So
here we go.
The person you're in a relationship with, how do they feel when you talk about the relationship?
This is dating from
like to say what person, King.
Nah, you misheard me. No, you misheard me.
That's not
the space he's coming from.
Whoever she thinks she is, she knows she's not now.
No, that's not true. That's not true. This is
draw the rope back.
I'm speaking as an artist. I just not personal. Okay. No, but it's not really about my relationship. It's about just dating or what it's like. I mean, I'm 32 now, and I'm not married. I'm not I have no kids or nothing, and it's just been like a culmination of all my dating experience and all my friends.
By the way, being Dominican with no kids is totally breaking all stereotypes.
I know. That's why I'm on it. That's why I got the special. They
do you wear white jeans?
I couldn't do the white jeans.
White jeans with the Giants jersey. White jeans with the blue Giants jersey. That's Dominican.
Now you've also said that you think dating is harder now than it used to be.
Yeah, I mean for sure. I mean, I had a joke about it where back in the day, like you hear stories about it all the time. I hear stories, especially with the Dominicans, where they would have a family and you raise another family, right? Like right on the same neighborhood, 2 families in the neighborhood, and everybody just mind their business. Nobody said nothing.
That's something we got in common.
Yeah.
My daddy was doing the same.
Right, but there was no phones. People didn't capture you. How was you gonna get caught cheating? You got caught cheating
because you live in the same neighborhood. It's literally
but if they called your wife and was like, "Yo, I saw Charlamagne out with this girl," you could be like, "They're lying."
It's no proof,
and that's it. Yeah, that's it.
No,
if they had a big ass camera,
my excuses were way worse. Oh, I'm over here doing work, doing construction on the house. Oh, it's my assistant.
That's your dad. You say your dad?
Oh yeah, that was my dad.
Right, but now it's hard. You can't be out here. You gotta, it's social media. You need to follow everything. There's stories. It's tough.
You can't get away with that type. I know somebody who was married, and they said that their husband had a whole family. He would pretend to go to work in the morning, but he would be driving like 6 blocks away. One day she followed him. That's how he had a whole nother house and family like 6 blocks away.
6 blocks.
You couldn't get away with that now.
Same zip code. But it still happened. I dated a girl. For 6 months. We dated. And then I found out she had a fiance. She was like engaged to be married. She lived with the guy and everything. Because he called me one night. He went through her phone, read her messages. He called me.
Did you tell her?
See, back then there would be no going through the phone and checking messages. You got away with it.
Yeah, I told her. What you think I'm gonna have her back? Yeah, hell yeah. I told her. I told her.
My girl? Yeah.
I actually have a joke about this because his energy was real weird. Like I picked up. He called me from her number, and I picked up. Thinking it was her, because I had like 30 missed calls from her number, and I thought something had happened, and I picked up, and the first thing he said, he was like, "Yo, is this the nigga with the pretty ass eyebrows?" And I was like, yeah, I was like, I was flattered, to be honest. I was like, I don't know what this is, but thank you about the eyebrows. And then he was like, yo, I'm with this girl, I have a fiance. And I was like, yeah, I mean, I didn't know, bro. I don't know. He wanted like to meet up and fight. I'm like, I don't want to fight you. I don't care enough about this like you do. This is your fiance. I understand why you're upset. I'm not that upset. So like,
you think if she would have told you I'm engaged, you would have still messed with her, like been the side guy?
He's listening.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe.
Say, like, just be honest. It's still...
People say that. I feel like guys say let's be honest. Women be like let's be honest, but then you honest and they leave, and I'm like, well, that's not what I wanted.
Did you have sex with the young lady that we were talking about?
The girl? Yeah, we was there for 6 months. Yeah,
wow.
It was wild because she lived with the guy, and she used to like stay over my house and stuff. She used to say she was like at her parents' house, and
wow. You're really snitching. Like you're going further with this.
It's fine. They broke up. Okay. It's cool.
So were you telling him? Was he asking you all those questions?
He was asking me for details, and I'm like, you read the text messages, you know the details, because she was saying the stuff in the text messages, but they broke up like the next day.
Wow, do you want to know all those details?
I don't know, that was weird. And then he called me like a couple days later, like, bro, like I just need to know, and I'm like, bro, now I feel bad for you. He's like, I just need you to tell me, like, man to man, like, did she do this? And I'm like, did she do that?
Did she eat a penis?
We're gonna stop.
Did she eat a on stage? I'm like,
no, that's enough.
Oh man.
Well, did you at least get to the special? Like, so you come see him?
Nah, honestly, everything is cool. It was honestly is deeper than that. He was cheating on her too. She had caught him already, so she had moved on and then check out.
That's like the end of Hey Mom with Jules Santana be like, I hit, I got dome, what else?
Yeah.
Damn.
Now let me ask you this: how personal do you get? Because like, for instance, Chris Red, he got attacked outside of the Comedy Cellar.
Shout out Chris, yeah.
And then he was talking about it, and he was saying at first he really wanted to go on stage right away.
Yeah.
But he was bleeding. He was like, I don't want to bleed on these people. But he said he did want to like go on stage, and he does address it in his stand-up. And for you, a lot of things happen in your personal life. So do you feel like those are things when they happen, you're like, I got to figure out how to incorporate this?
Sometimes I try to be as real as I can from my perspective point of view. So every joke is my perspective. It might not be exactly how it happened. It might not be exactly how the story, but that's what I think, or that's how I would have wanted to react. So I try to say that, but it's weird, especially when you dating, because like now you meet girls and they're like, don't put me in your stand-up, and I'm like, I'm gonna if it's if it's funny, I might have to, but I don't put nobody's name in it, and you would never know it was you unless only me and you would know who exactly it is, and her fiance.
Watch romantic comedy.
There you go.
Romantic comedy.
Ian, it's the Breakfast Club. Good morning. Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Angela Yee, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. Let's get to the rumors. Let's talk Megan Thee Stallion.
Listen up. It's just in. All the gossip. The Rumor Report. Gossip. With Angela Yee.
It's the Rumor Report.
The Breakfast Club.
All right. Well, the Southern Black Girls and Women's Consortium, alongside influential leaders, have written a letter of open support for Megan Thee Stallion denouncing violence against women. Individuals who signed that letter include Congresswoman Maxine Waters, also Tarana Burke, who's the founder of Me Too, a Planned Parenthood CEO, Alexis McGill Johnson, Congresswoman Sheila Jackson Lee, Angela Rye signed the letter as well. And so in that letter, it says, you are larger than life in many ways. Your name is in lights, your face on billboards, your songs in the history books, and this is still just the beginning of your story. As you've risen to the top, you've also had to endure a lot of obstacles along the way in the face of triumph and tragedy alike. You always keep your head held high. The letter goes on to say, it must be said that our culture has failed you, one of its most brightly shining daughters. In July of 2020, you experienced a violation of the highest order at the hands of someone whom you considered a friend. Since then, you've had to endure public harassment and taunting, not only from that person, but from others choosing to stand with him. Bloggers have circulated rumors and excitedly reported on the most traumatic experience of your life as if it were juicy gossip, often perpetuating the idea that you've got a reason to lie, that you shouldn't be believed. And at the end, it says violence against women is still entirely too common and acceptable in our world. We make excuse after excuse to explain away even the most heinous acts. Black women are also often fearful of what will happen to their assailant if they choose to involve the law, as you yourself were afraid to do, and are left unprotected by the system and the community alike.
Oh, everybody just needs to let the court case play out. Her supporters and detractors. Once the court case plays out, time will tell all.
All right, and Method Man was talking to Sherry Shepherd about being an actor, a rapper/actor, and why a lot of rappers are great at acting.
I think that there's so many rappers who are great at acting. Do you think rap lends itself to acting as well?
Well, I think a lot of rappers are great liars.
Really?
Yeah, a lot of them are great liars, and I think that translates on screen.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's more of being able to stand in front of 15,000 people or 1,500 people and commanding their attention. Even like when people do plays.
Yes.
We know that the scenery isn't moving. We know that there isn't like they aren't on an actual moving train, but we're so intrigued by the actors and the process that's going on in front of us, we allow ourselves to dwell into or fall deeper into our imagination.
Yes, and in that world, they call that the suspension of disbelief. That means that something's not true, it's not logical, but you suspend your disbelief for the sake of enjoying what you see in front of you.
Yeah, a lot of rappers and musicians get into character, right? When they're writing their music, whether it's, they're a huge drug dealer or, like Biggie's story to tell. He's telling a fake story. So it's easier for them to get into character, I think.
That's exactly what it is. Rappers are liars, but more importantly, they're characters. And most people in hip-hop are playing characters, and in life in general, most people are playing characters, and a lot of things that people do are performative, so of course they can perform.
Mm-hmm.
All right, now Chris Rock is doing something for the first time ever. It's his first ever live Netflix special, so he's going to do his comedy special live streaming. Now, there's not a lot of details, but they did say it's going to be in early 2023. And, he's worked with Netflix several times. And so now he's doing this live streaming Netflix special.
That's dope. I didn't see that feature on Netflix, but I'm excited about that.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how can you watch something live on Netflix? I can't wait to see it, but how is that going to happen?
I don't know.
Well, they said if it's successful, this could change the future of Netflix's programming. So this is something new that they're doing.
A live
and they're doing
stream.
it with Chris Rock.
Yeah, Amazon does it with football, so I'm sure they can do it with a live comedy show.
That'd be dope.
Yeah, it's probably just a function where it's like live TV or something like that. Mm-hmm. And then you just go and see it live. All right, now T-Pain was on his Nappy Boy Radio podcast with Taylor Bennett, and he was talking about making so much money that he would charge artists cars.
I started charging cars for songs. It came to a point where I had enough money.
So hard.
Yeah. And was like, we need a hook. And I was like, hey, look, it's a 72 Impala that I want.
Yes. You had going and looking for parts to put the car together. Not even that was out now.
It was right. I don't even want a new car, bro. Go get me an old school. I'll do this hook for you tonight.
Mm-hmm. I wonder if you have to pay taxes on that. Probably not.
I'm
right?
sure they're going to be
gives you a
listening
car?
now, because they're going to be listening now. But that could be smart depending on what type of vehicle or car he gets, because if he gets a car that's limited, that goes up in value, it could be worth a lot of money. But like you said, I'm sure Urs is watching right now and like, hey, we didn't get clearance on that one. How about an audit?
Yeah, I don't know what the rules are on that. If it's a gift, if you have to pay taxes.
Anything that somebody pays
Swiss,
you have to pay taxes on.
All right, now Swiss Beats has gifted French Montana for his birthday, and here's that gift.
It's a fast one. It's a fast one. It's a beauty camel. Shout out to my Swiss. He got me a camel for my birthday. It's a beauty camel. What if it spits?
What do you do with a camel? Do you have to pay taxes on that?
I don't think he really bought him a camel, guys.
Well, Swiss races camels.
He does race camels in Saudi Arabia, yes. But I don't think he bought him a camel. He probably rented him a camel for the birthday party. But
but buying him a camel is like buying him a sports team for Swiss. Swiss races camels.
But you got to maintain that camel and feed that camel and I guess walk the camel. I don't know much about camels, but French can't raise no damn camel.
Hey man, Swiss does camel racing. Yeah, I'm sure Swiss will put French on what he should be doing. I think Swiss owns a whole racing team. No, he owns a whole camel racing team in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, he does. He owns a whole team. It's called the Rough Rider team in Saudi Arabia. He races in.
So maybe that camel will be part of his team.
All right. Well, that is your rumor report.
All right. Charlamagne, who you giving that donkey to?
Man, 4 police officers in Lake City, Florida need to come to the front of the congregation. What does your Uncle Charla always tell you about the great state of Florida? Oh, we'll talk about it for after the hour because this adds on to the legend.
All right, we'll get into that next. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
The Breakfast Club. Your mornings will never be the same.
Right now, get the lowest prices of the season on a great night's sleep during Mattress Firm's Veterans Day sale. Save up to 60% on select mattresses, plus get free and fast delivery. Visit a store near you or mattressfirm.com today.
Make sure you tell them to watch out for Florida, man.
The craziest people in America come from the Bronx and all of Florida. Yes, you are a donkey.
A Florida man attacked an ATM for a very strange reason. It gave him too much money. Florida man is arrested after deputies say he rigged the door to his home in an attempt to electrocute his pregnant wife. Police arrested an Orlando man for attacking a flamingo.
It's the Breakfast Club, bitches.
Donkey of the day with Charlamagne the God. I don't know why y'all keep letting him get y'all like this.
Before I start off Donkey of the Day, let me salute the women of Sigma Gamma Rho. They are celebrating 100 years of greater service and greater progress tomorrow. Salute to all the poodles out there repping Sigma Gamma Rho. Dropping the clues bombs for Sigma Gamma Rho.
Yeah, shout out to those women.
Yeah, salute to my niece LaPortia for always repping her set and reminding me every year that November 12th is indeed Sigma Gamma Rho's Founders Day. Now, Donkey of the Day for Friday, November 11th goes to 2 police officers with the Columbia County Sheriff's Office in Lake City, Florida. What does your Uncle Charla always tell you about the great state of Florida? Say it with me. The craziest people in America come from the Bronx and all of Florida. Now, the officers' names are Officer James Hodges and Deputy James Gold. Full disclosure, I was tired on this fine Friday. Kind of going through the motions until I saw this story. And I said to myself, Florida, don't you ever stop being Florida. And I say that as if you could stop if you tried. Okay, Florida is going to always Florida, just like water is going to always wet. All right, Florida will always be the craziest place in America, and it's not even close. I'm at the point where I truly believe these stories we see about Florida in the news, they not even real. It's just all satire, and somebody writes these things just to make us laugh, and today is no exception. I'm serious. Florida stories are so good, okay? I could literally give these officers Donkey of the Day based off the headline alone on CBS News, okay? Just the headline. Would you like to hear the headline? Listen, remember this is Florida now. No, the headline. Oh, wait. Remember, this is Florida, okay? Now that you know this is Florida, listen to this headline because you know it's good. A blind man was arrested after an officer thought he had a gun. Did you hear what I said? A blind man was arrested after an officer thought he had a gun. Oh, and I forgot the most important part of the headline. It was his cane. I can't make this kind of stuff up. Let's go to NBC News for the report, please.
Police arrested 61-year-old James Hodges, and he was charged for resisting an officer in late October on Marion Avenue and Duval Street in downtown Lake City. The body cam video starts off with the deputy stopping Hodges, asking him what's in his pocket.
It's a navigational age. What's the problem? You a tyrant?
Yeah, I am actually. What's your name and date of birth?
I don't have to give that unless
Yes, sir. I was investigating.
You have reasonable
Do you want me to put you in handcuffs right now?
Hodges then asked the deputy what her suspicion was, and the deputy responded that it looked like he was carrying a gun in his pocket. Shortly after, he takes the walking stick out of his pocket to show the deputy that it is not a gun.
Am I detained?
Yeah, you are. What's your name and date of birth?
It does not matter.
Yes, sir, it does.
Hodges showed his walking stick to another deputy at the scene. The deputies then handcuffed him and took his driver's license out of his pocket. The sheriff's office declined to do an interview, but posted a statement on Facebook that says in part, quote, "We are aware of the Columbia County Sheriff's Office body camera video involving the arrest of Mr. James Hodges on October 31st. Sheriff Hunter is troubled by what he has seen in the video, and the matter is being addressed."
Police mistook a blind man's walking stick for a gun. Well, I have to ask in this situation, who's really blind? What's the point of having vision if you can't see? Poor Stevie Wonder better stay out of the Sunshine State. Imagine Stevie Wonder having a glass of wine while playing the piano and then getting arrested for DUI because police officers mistook the piano for a damn car. What's also interesting about this is the man is blind. You think he has a gun, but you stop him to make sure he's carrying the gun properly. If I saw a blind man with a gun, I would want to know, why is he carrying it at all? No disrespect to all the blind gun owners out there, but you can understand my confusion, right? Is that even a thing? I'm 44 years old, and it's never even crossed my mind on whether blind people own guns or not. But now I can't stop thinking about it. So I did some research, and by research, I mean Googled. I typed in, do blind people own guns? And the answer is most definitely, okay? Really? Apparently in America. You ever heard that, Envy?
No.
Well, apparently in America, being blind does not keep you from owning a gun. Some states like Nebraska and my home, South Carolina, require gun applicants to show proof of vision. But in 2007, Texas lawmakers passed a measure to help legally blind people hunt. Let me tell you something. I watched Daredevil. So I know that blind people's, other senses are extremely heightened, but it ain't no way in hell I'm going hunting with a blind person. Okay,
No way.
It makes no logical sense to me whatsoever. Look, I tell y'all all the time, I'm not the highest grade of weed in the dispensary, but one would assume that being able to see would be one of the necessary qualifications for owning a gun. Okay, that's the problem with most of y'all humans nowadays anyway. You shoot like you're legally blind. All right, most of y'all don't hit what you're aiming at with 20/20 vision, so how you gonna hold it down when you POP? Let me tell you something, officers in Lake City, Florida. What that man lacks in vision, you all lack in empathy. There is absolutely no reason for that man to have been incarcerated, and he had every right to be frustrated with y'all because it's ridiculous, okay? Whenever you're accused of doing something you weren't doing, it sucks. But when it's something as ridiculous as mistaking my walking cane for a gun, imagine if he had his seeing eye dog with him. What would you mistake that as? Huh? A little kid he kidnapped as part of a human sex trafficking ring? Huh? You know they say empathy is seeing with the eyes of another. Clearly, the officers were seeing with the eyes of the blind man they decided to harass. I would tell Florida to do better, but Florida doing better would be so less entertaining for the rest of us. Please give Officer James Hodges and Deputy James Gold the sweet sounds of the Hamiltons.
Oh, now you are the donkey of the day. Ooh, you are the donkey of the day. Yee-haw.
By the way, there's a movie on Hulu called See For Me, and this woman is house sitting and she's blind. She also was a professional skier. And it just brought to light a lot of things that you talked about, because she ended up having to like kill these people that came into the home that were home invaders. But there's an app for blind people where you have like a person that navigates you to walk around the house. It's really interesting, but it's a real life thing. But just putting that out there.
What do you mean, guide you around and be like, make a left, shoot now, like that type of thing?
Exactly. Like you put it on FaceTime. I think the app is called Titular. And you put it on FaceTime, so if you're blind, they can help you like kind of guide and navigate through. So she was on the app with this person, and they were like, okay, at 3:00, he's at 3:00. And yeah, it was interesting. I mean, obviously it's just a movie, but I didn't realize.
Obviously it's not, because Charlamagne just said blind people have weapons and have licenses to own firearms.
Right. No, I'm saying, but that's a real life app. So that's all. It just made me think of that, because I was like, she's really doing a great job with this gun, even though she's blind.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you for that, Yee. And thank you for that donkey today, Charlamagne. Up next, UFC welterweight champion Leon Edwards will be joining us. All right, we're going to kick it with him next, so don't move. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Hey, what up?
Power 105.1. The Breakfast Club. Your mornings will never be the same.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ Envy, Angela Yee, Charlamagne the Guy. We are The Breakfast Club. We got a special guest in the building, UFC welterweight champion Leon Edwards.
What's happening?
What's going on? What's good?
Listen, my guy right here, Red.
Yeah.
He's so excited that you're here.
I appreciate it.
He's a big MMA guy.
I'm excited to be
guy.
here. This is like for me, like in the UK, this is like a big deal, So I'm happy to be here and all love.
What are you doing in the States?
I'm just promoting media run.
Okay.
Israel's fighting this Saturday.
Is he?
Yeah. So I want to watch him and Just been busy since the fight. I won the bout 2 months ago. So it's been busy like promoting that and running off that.
So how do you get into UFC, man? Like, what made you want to beat people up for a living?
Well, I got 16, 17 years old. I got into mixed martial arts, and because I was always getting into trouble as a kid, you know. Like
it always starts like that.
Yeah, 100%. I was born in Kingston, Jamaica. I immigrated to the UK at like 10 years old. My dad died at 13, got murdered at 13 in London in the UK, and from there I went on like a bad spiral. So my mom suggested mixed martial arts because I was always good at fighting. You know, so she's like, you should try this out, and fell in love with it. Yeah, so
before your father passed, did you have the same anger? I guess it would be anger, like anger and rage. Was it the anger and rage you had to kind of like project somewhere? That's why you got into the fighting?
Well, before he passed or after?
Well, after he passed.
Yeah. It's like after he passed, I think that's where it took a turn, right? Because like growing up, like in Jamaica, my dad was like the leader of the gang where I grew up, and I was born into in Jamaica, you know. So I've always been around like violence as far as like guns and stuff like that, you know. So I was always like used to it. Then also when it passed away, I think more just like the trauma of it, like drawing me down into like hanging out, getting into gangs and like same shit that he was into, you know. And that's about 13 to about 17, when I met martial arts and kind of grew out of it.
Do you remember what your temperament was like before he passed? Yeah,
but like similar. Like I'm like a humble, calm kid, you know. So that was like me before, you know. And then obviously when he passed, I just remember the switch, you know, and just thinking, like the world, like I just moved to a new country. My dad got killed in that country we moved to. Single mom. So you gotta like figure it out, like going to a new country, figuring it out with 2 kids, and so like all that. Your mom is never in the house because she's always working, you know. So it's I think it's the same story for most people from like where I'm from, you know.
Well, yeah.
Well, not most people like from like trenches I'm from. Similar stories, you know.
But everybody don't grow to have success.
Yeah.
Because you know sometimes if you don't deal with your trauma ends up dealing with you. Clearly, somewhere along the line, you found a way to channel that trauma to something positive.
Yeah, exactly. Like I remember going like the first day in the gym. I remember like the positive feedback I was getting. You know, like, oh, you're good. Like you should like you can do something with it. I feel like that spurred me on to want to keep going back to the gym. You know, that I feel like the positive reinforcement that I had like made me want to go every day. So like at one point I was in the gym from like morning till like night. You know, I'll train in the morning, I'll chill there all day, and then I'll train again on the night. You know, and that was my routine from like 18 to in my 20s. You know.
Wow, I'm interested in like what did your mom instill in you? You know what I mean? Because for some reason people think that when you're raised by just your mom, you can't grow up tough.
Yeah.
Clearly you did that.
100%. My mom is tough, you know. Like she had to be tough.
I'm hoping you take it off and leave it.
I got it yesterday at Dior yesterday. But over here, the tax over here is like almost double the price compared to the UK, you know. Like in the UK, like this jacket in the UK is like in pounds, it's like let's say about 2,000. Yeah. Over here it's like 2,500, 2,800, you know. But yeah, my mom, she was like raised tough. She was like, come from like all girls, all sisters, no brothers. She had me like age 15 in Jamaica, you know, in Kingston, Jamaica, in poverty. So she had to be tough, you know. So she definitely raised 2 tough boys, you know. My brother as well, Fabian, he does mixed martial arts as well. He fights the Bellator, and he's like 1 fight away from fighting for the world title, you know. So she definitely raised some killers for sure.
I'm surprised you didn't like hate the country y'all moved to after something that tragic happens. Like I'm like, I don't want to be here no more after seeing my father pass.
Yeah, but it could have passed in Jamaica as well, just in the life he was living. You know, like to be the leader of the gang in Jamaica, you have to be like on some shit. You get me? So you could have passed it. As a kid, I just knew that was the outcome. It's like everyone around me was dying, you know. So like that was the outcome. Like eventually, it's even gonna get to death or prison or something, you know. I was as a kid, I didn't fall like that, but now looking back in it, like, that's really realistically the only outcome that could happen. Yeah.
Why martial arts? Like who?
I don't know. It's like random. I never know what the UFC was before that. I didn't know what mixed martial arts was before that. You know, like literally, I was walking to the bus stop with my mum, and she suggested there's a gym getting built in my area where I grew up, and she was like, you should try this out. Thinking just keep me away from hanging around on the street with my friends, and I was like, okay, for her I'll do it, So I went up to the gym, inquired about the membership. At the time, membership was £60 a month, which is like $70 a month. But as a single mom, I know that she couldn't afford it. And I thought that's a hefty monthly price tag for a single mom, But she's like, listen, I'll pay for it. Just do it. I was like, okay, I'll do it, and I did it, and just kept growing and kept improving.
I'm sure you didn't make the transition from the street so fast, though.
Nah, I was still like dabbling. I dabbled till about 16 to about 19. I dabbled,
So you know a little bit of martial arts, and you're in the street. Who's the first person you kicked in the neck?
I f***ed a few people, but I was always good at fighting from just like off the rip, just like good at street fighting. But also when you go to mixed martial arts, you get like technical at fighting. You know exactly what you're looking for and how to do it. So yeah, I took out a few.
So when did you learn the discipline? Because I'm sure the discipline is probably what helped you really make the transition.
Yeah, 100%. I'll say literally probably like a year into it, because also when I got into it, I started researching the sport, what is mixed martial arts, what do they make, is it a career in it, and then once I see there's a career in it, I was like, okay, cool, I'll stick to it, and I think over time, just gradually, just your energy just switches, you want to be in the gym, you don't hang around in the street just getting in trouble. In the UK as well, it's a big a knife crime thing. Over here it's guns, right? We got guns as well, but for the 16, 17, 15, 14, that's stabbings, So it's so either that or just hang around in the gym. That's what I did, hang around in the gym. Now all my friends that I was hanging around on the street are now in the gym. So just for me making the switch, now all my friends are now into martial arts,
Wow.
All right, we got more with Leon Edwards when we come back. Don't move. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning. Envy, Angela Yee, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. We're still kicking it with UFC welterweight champion Leon Edwards. Charlamagne.
UFC President Dana White has confirmed the trilogy fight with you and Kamaru
Usman.
Yeah. How you feeling about that? It's going to be in England?
Yeah. I'm excited for that. To headline the UK, 60,000 people is trying to get a stadium show. It's going to be big, it's going to be big, and I'm excited. This is the third time around. He beat me the first time by points, and I knocked him out the second time, So now we're going back home on my turf and my backyard, and I'm excited. It's going to be good.
Why a third time though? Like mentally, why do you need a third fight?
I think not for me. I think for him it was a long reigning champion for a while, So I think in the UFC, if you reign for a little bit, they'll kind of give you another shot at the bout. So he was undefeated for 8 years. So yeah, after I knocked him out, there's okay, let's do it. But now on your turf and in your backyard, but to me it doesn't matter. I'll do the same thing over and over again. So we could fight 10 times. I believe that I'll win. I'll win nine of them.
How do you think the third fight is going to play out? Because I always wonder about that when you fight a person 3 times. Does the person see something in you? If I can expose that weakness, maybe I'll have a chance.
I think for Usman, he's a very heavy base, wrestling base fighter. Decent boxing, but more wrestler than anything. And I think now I love to see how he comes out after being he was out cold. So I'd love to see how he reacts after being put out cold. Because at the time, I think he fought and he said that he could never be beaten. Undefeated for 8 years, never lost in the UFC, never been taken down in the UFC. Wow. I did it both in one fight, So I'd love to see how he comes back now and run it back. So either way, it doesn't make no matters to me.
Do you abstain from sex before fights? I always hear that about boxers.
I normally 3. It depends on the fight as well. I think normally 3 or 4 weeks, a month. About a month before. I think it's more mental than anything. I did it before in my amateur days.
What, f***ing on the same day as the fight?
Nah.
What you mean? What?
That's different week in your legs. After I went to sleep, so no way. Probably a month before. Just more mental than anything. I don't think physically it makes a difference, but in my amateur days I did it a week off the fight, and I was fine, So, but I think now you're playing for big money and opportunities. I don't want to risk it,
Yeah, I heard that you were sparring with Ian Gary, and you sent him to the hospital after kicking him in the head.
It was a light spar. We weren't going that hard, he came.
He wasn't clearly.
Yeah, he was going. It was a good spar, a good level work, and he hit me first with a head kick, a good one. I was like, okay, cool. Then I gave him one back, but my toes hit his mouth. It worked like my shin, you know. Like normally when the shin hit, that's when you're out, you know. But when the toes hit, it's like a slap. It's like so like you can't hit it, like busted his teeth, but it's all good. He's good.
Hold on,
new teammate.
Whoa! You busted his teeth with your toes?
Yeah, it's like your toes hit right, so it's like a slap, you know. But normally, normally when
hold on, man. Hold on. So it was his toes?
Yeah, because like when you throw the kick, normally you're trying to land like your shin bone.
Yeah,
that's you trying to land on the head, and that like put you out cold. But if you fall short, then your feet will like slap them.
Yeah,
and that's what happened basically. And
damn,
like, busted the lip, but it's all good.
Do you work out your feet?
Nah. You have to get conditioned. Like, your body just get conditioned over time from like hitting and just get tougher and tougher, you know.
Yeah, you had to negotiate a new deal before the Usman fight too, right?
Yeah, but now I wonder about now it's a new negotiation again.
Okay,
you know, because now I got to negotiate pay-per-view and percentages and get that dough. You know,
is that normal? Is it a per fight negotiation?
No. Normally UFC it's like a contracted like 4 fights, 5 fights. But at this level, like top 5 normally it's like a longer contract, and you get to like negotiate. It depends on who you're fighting. Like I fought like Nate Diaz before, and I renegotiated for that as well. So it depends on the opponent, how big the fight is, and that's normally how it goes.
Why do UFC fighters look so bad in the ring when they fight like a Jake Paul?
Yeah, but Jake Paul's fighting like all like the retired UFC fighters, you know.
Yeah.
Like he fought like Anderson Silva the other day. Like for me, that's my idol. When I was like young, getting into MMA, he was like the guy that I looked up to, like in his prime, you know. And also now to see that the other day when he fought, and he's like 46 years old and slow down. His reflexes ain't the same, and his chin is a bit gone, you know. So yeah, but he's fighting like retired UFC fighters, and he fought no one that's like fresh.
He called out Nate Diaz.
But Nate Diaz you know?
Too long in the tooth.
Yeah. It took a lot of work over the years.
Yeah.
You know, and he's only small as well. So I think Jake is at what 190, 180. I don't know how big he is, but I think he's small.
Is boxing that? I mean, is UFC and boxing that much different? Nah.
I think like a UFC guy can learn boxing quite fast. But I think the opposite way around, like a boxer to learn MMA is probably a longer process. You got like wrestling, jiu-jitsu, kickboxing, it's a lot to learn, you know. But we do boxing as part of our training, so it's not a big difference. But it's like a different range, different timing. It's all different. You're only punching the head on the body, you know. As mixed martial arts, you can kick the leg, you can kick the body, you can kick the head, you know. You can hit elbows, and so I think it's easier to learn.
You think you Jake Paul up?
Facts, yeah, facts. I think I'm like, cause my style is like striking, like my preference is to strike. You know, I'm comfortable with boxers, and I got a great boxing coach back home that helps me out. And in camp, I always get good boxing work, you know, because I think it toughens you up it conditions your body, you know, because when you spar boxers, they go hard, you know.
Is it worth it for you to do something like that, or do you feel like that feels like a sideshow almost, like?
What, boxing?
Well, no, with somebody like a Jake Paul. If you,
probably not now, because I'm in my prime now. You know, I just won the UFC about 2 months ago, and this was my dream when I was like got into the sport, is to get there and use it to change my family's life. You know, and I also did for the dough. If the dough is good, I'll do it. You know, but right now I'm focusing being like the best right now in my sport. You know, and after that, then I can venture out and see what's there.
I saw you tell mirror.co.uk that you that you and a McGregor fight could happen.
I said it'd be easier to happen. We've got the same management team, right? Like we got in the red hat team, because all white people.
Yeah. That's obvious.
Yeah.
You didn't have to, make that statement. We know. I can look. I got eyes.
So we got the same like management team. Yeah. You know, so if it was gonna happen, it'd be easy to make. You know, because it's in-house talk But
would you even want that?
For the money, yeah. But as far as like my career, I don't need it.
Yeah,
you know, I don't need it. He's not a welterweight. I'm a welterweight. He's like a lightweight. I know he put like some muscles on recently. But yeah, I think I'm too big for him.
You think he fell off, Conor McGregor?
It'd be difficult for him to come back and compete against top 5. I feel, you know, I think he put a lot of muscle on as well. That affects the fighter a lot, you know, especially if he broke his legs, so he ain't been able to like train properly. And but I love for him to come back and do well. You know, I'm not a hater. I don't like his success doesn't dim mine. You know, so hopefully he does come back and do well.
Is it true that you when you're the type of fighter you are, you got to have like registered hands or something like that?
Nah, I registered my body's registered as far as like health insurance. So
Yeah.
Not. I think you can't go out there like look to like pick fights with people. You could also get sued, right? But you can definitely self defense, like defend yourself if you feel like you have to, you know. Facts.
Well, Leon, I know you got to go, man. I just wanted to just thank you for coming through, my brother.
I appreciate it. Like for me, like I said, it's a honor and a big deal for me, you know. To meet you, like you're smaller than what I thought. You look.
Yo. Don't think you can try me.
Nah. Nah, so love, but like this is what I watch. Like my manager tell you, like in camp, like you train twice a day. Like this is my downtime. You know, like I'll.
What's your favorite Breakfast Club episode?
I've seen all of them.
Mm-hmm.
I was like the Birdman one. That was a good one. That's like the cliche one, and that's like all of it. That's like the way like you interact with the people. You know, like you make it feel chilled. It's not like pressure doing it. You know, so I appreciate it.
Leon Edwards, everybody. Thank you, my brother.
I appreciate it.
Breakfast Club.
Thank you for having me.
Appreciate you,
Good
man.
The Breakfast Club. Power 105.1. The Breakfast Club. Envy, Angela Yee, and Charlamagne the God.
Oh yeah, I'm finna make a banger with this. Last time you told me you proud of me, you wasn't proud of me. You was the nigga who doubted me. I was too mad at you. You let him come kill you, my brother. That was a tragic, but magically I got the strategy. I was so sick and tired of nigga. He asked me who was the between the hood. Bro, I'm a king, that mean we good. Talk to my TT about my problem. Learn to survive, I carry my chop. Before I was 12, I went to the doctor. On the strip when I took me a how you my blood, you say you gon' pop me. Fall over loyalty, never about thotties. Don't mention my name if you mention them. Don't mention my name if you mention them. Stop taking drugs after sitting in the sun. How you gon' blame me? I give a cabana. I'm a star, gotta use condom. Don't drink par, only like Walker. Sipping on Walker, I feel like I'm Flocker. Shit in my pocket, that nigga go blocker. Say that I'm mean, what you mean I coach you? Get away from a high speed, don't toss it. Called you a bitch, I'm sorry I lost. Head down, X pill, Percocet off. My phone that passed me a charge. Ain't have a coat, walk to school in the thermal. You looking up to they'll burn you. Get on my business, this shit don't concern you. I get to digging this shit when I learn you. I love the treasures, this shit is eternal. Oh my God, I'm having a virgin. I wish my brother had made it out surgery. I be up thinking, be hurting me. If they gon' catch me, them niggas gon' murder me. Get my bro 20, he caught for a burglary. I love the bitches who say they ain't heard of me. Never seen blood, that turn burgundy. Oh my God, I'm having a virgin. Like the first day of school, I'm a scholar. Found a solution and got some more problems. We from the same bus, my dog since a toddler. 16 years old when I shot my first chopper. Flew out of New Zealand in the open locker. Could fly on the Jeep, I fly helicopters. I count every blessing and count every dollar. I'm about to go factory plane. I treat all of my dogs the same. Take out all of my the same. I just hope you financially sane. Never turning my back on the game. From the A, we taught to be brave. Had to squabble and take up for face. Stay right solid, you'll get through the face. Now my nigga, what happened to Virgil? Tell they God I don't wanna get murdered. I got style, I don't know what you heard of. You look, you soft and fertile. Only rivers throughout my circle. Only rivers throughout my circle. R.I.P. Prince and my pubs and purple. 600 made back the one with the curtain. Young gonna one of the boy about the Birkin. I'm going hard, know you proud of me working. Ryan around the town, slipping and swerving. Hold it down through the shit with a purpose. Louis down, and then she came from Virgin. Oh my God, what happened to Virgin? Oh my God, what happened to Virgin? Oh my God, what happened to Virgin?
Morning, everybody. It's DJ Envy, Angela Yee, Charlamagne the God. We are the Breakfast Club. Let's get to the rumors. Let's talk New Music Fridays.
This is the Rumor Report with Angela Yee on the Breakfast Club.
So listen up.
Yes, and we also got to set it off with letting y'all know that Wakanda Forever is out today. So I know everybody's going to the movies to see that. And Rihanna has another new song, Born Again. Here that is.
So until those rivers run out, it runs through me. Wherever you are, I'll be there. We carry on.
All right, so there's 2 Rihanna releases within the month. That's amazing.
I love how Rihanna is using the Black Panther soundtrack to reintroduce herself to the music scene. That's dope.
All right, also out today, Nas and Hit Boy, King's Disease 3. Now, Envy, I know you got to mention a shout out on there.
Yes, I did.
All right, well, here is Nas with Ghetto Reporter.
But it's just me and HB, and this shit concentration. Niggas know I don't drop this off, so cherish it. Like your daughter's graduation, kids' marriages. When the culture vultures swoop down, they start exploiting the sound. They drew up contracts for our niggas who Hill to drew down, and I'm praying they set. Instead, most artists don't live as good as the execs, and they end up depressed.
And then Glorilla, she has a project out today. Anyways, life's great. We love Glorilla. And here is
Said I was done with dude, we back at it again. Said he couldn't get no way, I'm looking back at it again. Like, been making money, I ain't trying to make no friend. If you did it, gotta stand on it, ain't making no me. On the kind.
All right, and like I was telling you, Envy, Young Blue, he has another project out today. This project is called Tantra. He has such a great story from Mobile, Alabama. You know, he had that feature with Nicki Minaj that we all had a chance to hear. He also has a song with Lil Wayne. But here is Young Blue featuring Kelly Rowland, Freak Freak.
We ain't gotta go on dates no more, but I wanna be a freak. We ain't gotta be in love no more, but I might just let you be. Cause I got needs and you got needs and
I got need, got a little chick under my sleeve. Grab your throat till you can't breathe. Grab the pillow so you can't scream. Can you just come and spit your love to me? You a bad little thing, we can have a little fling. We ain't gotta be serious.
Yeah, I'm gonna reach out to Blue today, see if I can get a call for the car show. Absolutely, positively.
Yes, and the album, he also has Lucky Day on here, Ty Dolla $ign, Neo, French Montana's on the album, Fabio Foreign. He got Zayn on the album too, who hasn't been doing music in quite some time. So make sure you guys check that out. Also out today, WizKid, More Love, Let's Go. Here is To Sugar.
First mommy, I fight my own demons. Don't you see? Don't you see if you get the problem? My grace, mommy, no. Oh yeah, mami, yo, mami, go. And I know for life for you, mami, yo, go loco pa me, yo. I mean, not the love, but they try me, yo.
And Run the Jewels, they have Run the Jewels 4 out today. And it's Quattro, really. And what they did was they have rappers, producers, singers, musicians, and visual artists from across Latin America. So it's a remix album. So shout out to them for Run the Jewels Quattro, as Envy would say. Also, Drum has new music out today. What had happened was, and we all just seen recently the drama play out between Drum and Drake. He didn't like that reference that Drake gave to him on the album. Also, Black Eyed Peas, Elevation, that's out today. David Sebastian and DJ Drama with God Save the Rave. Gashi with Elevators is out today also. So enjoy your Friday, enjoy your weekend listening to new music.
That's right.
All right.
And listen, since we're talking about releases, man, I do want to salute Dr. Mutulu Shakur. He has been granted parole by the U.S. Parole Commission. You know, it's a deathbed release, though, because he has bone marrow cancer, but he's been granted a deathbed release. And they say he has less than 6 months to live, but, you know, at least he won't have to die in prison. So salute to the family of Mutulu Shakur, and just salute to Dr. Mutulu Shakur.
All right. Well, that is your rumor report. All right. When we come back, let's get to the People's Choice mix. You know, it's Friday, so we throw it back. Let me know what you want to hear. And it's the Breakfast Club. Good morning.
The Breakfast Club. Your mornings will never be the same.
When it's time to get with someone special, the best way to do it is with Magnum large size condoms. That gold foil wrapper is a badge of honor, and it means you're protected. And you take care of things with comfort. Accept no substitutes. Bring the pleasure with the gold standard. Magnum large size condoms.
WWPR-FM HD1 New York.
An iHeartRadio station.
Let me put a little bit of the Breakfast Club up in your lifestyle. DJ Envy, Angela Yee, Charlamagne the God.
You are rocking with the best.
You know, we throw it back on a Friday. Let me know what you want to hear. 800-585-1051. Let's go.
Turn it up.
With the memories that can't be erased, although we need
Filling them with octane, got them gassed up, about to get blasted up, son. The last one word the mother, brother miss him. I seen it when he kissed him at the wake, made his body shake. The high guy in 850, eyes smoke tint, rap terror, full chrome and terror. Street fly by the rivers, the fifth is conspicuous. Bad boy slipped to 95, ridiculous. My rap lines is like landmines. One step, kaboom, black suits fill the room. To whom it may concern, Junior Mafia's the click. Act up, I have my honey's total bust this shit.
In the middle of the day now, baby, I seem to think of only you.
We throw it back on a Friday. Let's go.
Papa, keep me laced up. Vanilla Tracy, Caesar Bugatti, Isaac Mizrahi. Up around the Dolce, Gabbana sipping pure Zay with the ill nana. You up around. I had your loyalties and your joint. You'll get your royalties and your points. So what the deal is? With Foxy Brown make cakes. Now we lace Bonnie McFly down. Up in Jamaica breaking.
It was love at first sight. I know from the way she looked at me. Like I said, we throw it back on a Friday. Let me know what you want to hear. 800-585-1051. We setting the vibe for the weekend. I gotta remind y'all, November 27th, my car show is heading to Huntsville, Alabama. It was love at first sight. I know from the way she looked at me. Her eyes said it all. Long days and nights we spent until she dropped the bomb on me. When she said that she was unhappily married with children, and I wish I never met her at all. Even though I love her so, but she got love for me. But she still belongs to someone. Let's keep going like. Happy Friday, let's go. 800-585-1051, let's go. It's 5 in the morning. And I'm talking dirty to you. And now I'm on the hotline. Let's talk about sex, baby. Let's talk about you and me. Let's talk about bubbles in the tub. Let's talk about making love. Let's talk about cherries on top. Girl, it's going down. I wanna talk dirty to you, baby. On the hotline.
Also known as a buster. Always talking about what he wants and just sits on his book. So, no, I don't want your number. No, I don't wanna give you mine. And no, I don't wanna meet you nowhere. No, don't want none of your time. And no, I don't want no scrub. A scrub is a guy that can't get no love from me. Hanging on the passenger side of his best friend's ride, trying to holler at me. I don't want no scrub. A scrub is a guy that can't get no love from me. Hanging on the passenger side of his best friend's ride, trying to holler at
Once again, happy Friday. It's okay to do your merry dance on this Friday. It's okay to do your merry bop on this Friday. 800-585-1051, let's go.
How can I love somebody else if I can't love myself enough to know when
me see us in the club, just show a little love, represent your side like me. 'Cause round here, if you slip, you catch a hot one. One shot, a couple of them down one. Belvedere in the rear of the club, pulled up on dubs, so we about to go and buy the bar up. So, for sure we ain't playing, hang with no lames, walk insane. Hey, where the party at? Come on, girls is on the way, where the Bacardi at? Yes, we do. Bottles and models talking all of that. You know I can't forget about my love. Where the party at? And all my girls. Where the party at? Come on, where the party at? It's the party. Let's get it going. Baby, let me explain to you, I'm saying.
Like I said, we throw it back on a Friday. Let me know what you want to hear.
I saw you. Baby, I don't love her.
You don't love me? You know what? I don't even want to talk to you.
She don't mean nothing to me.
I don't want to see your face.
She was just telling me.
I just want to see you walking through that door. There ain't nothing else to say.
Sunshine Anderson, let's go. 1, 2, sing along.
Come home late, it seems you barely beat the sun. Tapping my shoulder, thinking you gon' get you some. Smelling like some fragrance that I don't even wear. So if you want some loving, I suggest you go back there where you came from. Day to day with you, it's always something else. Working my nerve, God knows that I don't deserve what you put me through. 'Cause I've been so true to you. For you to come at me with another lame excuse. See, I heard it all before. All of your lies, all of your sweet talk. Baby this, baby that. But your lies ain't working now. Now, look who's hurting now. Look who's hurting. I had to shut you down.
Gets rock, we can give into brighter nights. Breathe with peace, expound by leaps and soul to reap our souls to keep the passions deep and filled with heat. Living this life on the hustle, I barely get enough time. You know me from the platinum, how I stack them and shine. You see a lot of contenders, they try to end up in my world. A reputation known as the untouchable girl. I'm moving on and now I'm trying to make a change in my ways. Be the best that I can be to last me all of my days. Now we can blaze pathways or just take our time. Better holler if you hear me, 'cause left
Power 105.1.
Peace.
Power 105.1. Never be the same.
When it's time to get with someone special, the best way to do it is with Magnum large size condoms. That gold foil wrapper is a badge of honor and it means you're protected. And you take care of things with comfort. Accept no substitutes. Bring the pleasure with the gold standard. Magnum large size condoms.
Just make sure you tell them to watch out for Florida, man.
The craziest people in America come from the Bronx and all of Florida. Yes, you are a donkey.
A Florida man attacked an ATM for a very strange reason. It gave him too much money. Florida man is arrested after deputies say he rigged the door to his home in an attempt to electrocute his pregnant wife. Police arrested an Orlando man for attacking a flamingo.
The Breakfast Club, bitches. Donkey of the day with Charlamagne the God. I don't know why y'all keep letting him get y'all like this.
Before I start off Donkey of the Day, let me salute the women of Sigma Gamma Rho. They are celebrating 100 years of greater service and greater progress tomorrow. Salute to all the poodles out there repping Sigma Gamma Rho. Dropping the clues bombs for Sigma Gamma Rho.
Yeah, shout out to those women.
Yeah, salute to my niece LaPortia for always repping her set and reminding me every year that November 12th is indeed Sigma Gamma Rho's Founders Day. Now, Donkey of the Day for Friday, November 11th goes to 2 police officers with the Columbia County Sheriff's Office in Lake City, Florida. What does your Uncle Charla always tell you about the great state of Florida? Say it with me. The craziest people in America come from the Bronx and all of Florida. Now, the officers' names are Officer James Hodges and Deputy James Gold. Full disclosure, I was tired on this fine Friday, kind of going through the motions until I saw this story. And I said to myself, Florida, don't you ever stop being Florida. And I say that as if you could stop if you tried. Okay, Florida is going to always Florida, just like water is going to always wet. All right, Florida will always be the craziest place in America, and it's not even close. I'm at the point where I truly believe these stories we see about Florida in the news, they're not even real. It's just all satire, and somebody writes these things just to make us laugh, and today is no exception. I'm serious. Florida stories are so good, okay? I could literally give these officers Donkey of the Day based off the headline alone on CBS News, okay? Just the headline. Would you like to hear the headline? Listen. Remember, this is Florida now. No, the headline. Oh, wait. Remember, this is Florida, okay? Now that you know this is Florida, listen to this headline because you know it's good. A blind man was arrested after an officer thought he had a gun. Did you hear what I said? A blind man was arrested after an officer thought he had a gun. Oh, and I forgot the most important part of the headline. It was his cane. I can't make this kind of stuff up. Let's go to NBC News for the report, please.
Police arrested 61-year-old James Hodges, and he was charged for resisting an officer in late October on Marion Avenue and Duval Street in downtown Lake City. The body cam video starts off with the deputy stopping Hodges, asking him what's in his pocket.
It's a navigational age. What's the problem? You a tyrant?
Yeah, I am actually. What's your name and date of birth?
I don't have to give that unless
Yes, sir. I was investigating.
You have reasonable.
Do you want me to put you in handcuffs right now?
Hodges then asked the deputy what her suspicion was, and the deputy responded that it looked like he was carrying a gun in his pocket. Shortly after, he takes the walking stick out of his pocket to show the deputy that it is not a gun.
Am I detained?
Yeah, you are. What's your name and date of birth?
It does not matter.
Yes, sir, it does.
Hodges showed his walking stick to another deputy at the scene. The deputies then handcuffed him and took his driver's license out of his pocket. The sheriff's office declined to do an interview, but posted a statement on Facebook that says in part, quote, "We are aware of the Columbia County Sheriff's Office body camera video involving the arrest of Mr. James Hodges on October 31st. Sheriff Hunter is troubled by what he has seen in the video, and the matter is being addressed."
Police mistook a blind man's walking stick for a gun. Well, I have to ask in this situation, who's really blind? What's the point of having vision if you can't see? Poor Stevie Wonder better stay out of the Sunshine State. Imagine Stevie Wonder having a glass of wine while playing the piano and then getting arrested for DUI because police officers mistook the piano for a damn car. What's also interesting about this is the man is blind. You think he has a gun, but you stop him to make sure he's carrying the gun properly. If I saw a blind man with a gun, I would want to know, why is he carrying it at all? No disrespect to all the blind gun owners out there, but you can understand my confusion, right? Is that even a thing? I'm 44 years old, and it's never even crossed my mind on whether blind people own guns or not. But now I can't stop thinking about it. So I did some research, and by research, I mean Googled. I typed in, do blind people own guns? And the answer is most definitely, okay? Really? Apparently in America. You ever heard that, Envy?
No.
Well, apparently in America, being blind does not keep you from owning a gun. Some states like Nebraska and my home, South Carolina, require gun applicants to show proof of vision. But in 2007, Texas lawmakers passed a measure to help legally blind people hunt. Let me tell you something. I watched Daredevil. So I know that blind people's, other senses are extremely heightened, but it ain't no way in hell I'm going hunting with a blind person. Okay,
no way.
It makes no logical sense to me whatsoever. Look, I tell y'all all the time, I'm not the highest grade of weed in the dispensary, but one would assume that being able to see would be one of the necessary qualifications for owning a gun. Okay, that's the problem with most of y'all humans nowadays anyway. You shoot like you're legally blind. All right, most of y'all don't hit what you're aiming at with 20/20 vision, so how you gonna hold it down when you POP? Let me tell you something, officers in Lake City, Florida. What that man lacks in vision, you all lack in empathy. There is absolutely no reason for that man to have been incarcerated, and he had every right to be frustrated with y'all because it's ridiculous, okay? Whenever you're accused of doing something you weren't doing, it sucks. But when it's something as ridiculous as mistaking my walking cane for a gun, imagine if he had his seeing eye dog with him. What would you mistake that as? Huh? A little kid he kidnapped as part of a human sex trafficking ring? Huh? You know they say empathy is seeing with the eyes of another. Clearly, the officers were seeing with the eyes of the blind man they decided to harass. I would tell Florida to do better, but Florida doing better would be so less entertaining for the rest of us. Please give Officer James Hodges and Deputy James Gold the sweet sounds of the Hamiltons.
Oh, now you are the donkey of the day. Ooh, you are the donkey of the day. Yee-haw.
By the way, there's a movie on Hulu called See For Me, and this woman is house sitting and she's blind. She also was a professional skier. And it just brought to light a lot of things that you talked about, because she ended up having to like kill these people that came into the home that were home invaders. But there's an app for blind people where you have like a person that navigates you to walk around the house. It's really interesting, but it's a real life thing. But just putting that out there.
What do you mean, guide you around and be like, make a left, shoot now, like that type of thing?
Exactly. Like you put it on FaceTime. I think the app is called Titular. and you put it on FaceTime. So if you're blind, they can help you like kind of guide and navigate through. So she was on the app with this person, and they were like, okay, at 3:00, he's at 3:00. And yeah, it was interesting. I mean, obviously it's just a movie, but I didn't realize.
Obviously it's not, because Charlamagne just said blind people have weapons and have licenses to own firearms.
Right. No, I'm saying, but that's a real life app. So that's all. It just made me think of that, because I was like, she's really doing a great job with this gun, even though she's blind.
Okay. All right, Charlamagne, thank you for that donkey today.
Yes, indeed.
And I got to remind you guys, November 27th is my car show in Huntsville, Alabama. If you haven't got your tickets, it's like 15 days left, all right? It's Thanksgiving week, so a lot of you guys will be home. A lot of you guys will be off. So travel on down to Huntsville, Alabama, the Von Braun Center. It's celebrity cars, amusement rides, American Muscle, old school cars. There's so much stuff for the kids and family. And, of course, kids 5 and under are free. So just click the link in my bio for more information. And that's Huntsville, Alabama, November 27th. All right. Now, when we come back from the Wounded Warriors, we have General Michael L. Lennington. He's going to be talking today because, of course, it's Veterans Day. All right. So don't move. And salute to all the veterans out there. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning. It's DJ Envy, Angela Yee, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. We got a special guest in the building. We have General Michael S. Lennington. Did I say that right?
That's right. Thank you.
Welcome.
Happy to be here.
How you feeling this morning?
I'm feeling good. Coming into Veterans Day.
That's
it's a really good time of year, and happy to be in New York.
Happy Veterans Day.
Thank you.
And you are the CEO of the Wounded Warrior Project. You guys do amazing work. So I would love for you to talk about the Wounded Warrior Project and how people can help.
Angela, we serve hundreds of thousands of wounded and injured service members that over the past 20 years have given a lot to our country, protected our freedoms and way of life. And to help, you just go to our website at woundedwarriorproject.org. But really, we're having Veterans Day celebrations all across the country, the biggest of which is right here in New York City tomorrow.
Mm-hmm. And what I love about this is that the services that you guys offer are so important, right? Whether it is mental health services, I was reading on the website, 1 in 3 veterans suffer from PTSD, which makes complete sense. I couldn't imagine. But to be able to get the services that they need is important. And then even to know about benefits that they have that they might need to navigate through the system to find out about.
Absolutely right. There's a lot of benefits out there, not knowing what those benefits are. That's what we do at Wounded Warrior Project, get them connected with the benefits they've earned. And then, as you said, physically injured or invisible wounds, we serve a variety of programs that address both. Invisible wounds, PTSD, traumatic brain injury, easy to treat, but we do it better than anybody. And for veterans listening today, and I know you got millions listening, if you're a veteran that needs help, go to woundedwarriorproject.org, sign up, join our organization, and get the help you've earned.
I always wanted to know, what do you think a lot of times you feel like a lot of people go and serve for the country, and when they come home, there's no resources for them, right? So you see them on the side of the road, asking for money, homeless a lot of times. I feel like our country sometimes doesn't take care of our soldiers. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, when people raise their hand and say, let me serve, they don't ask anything in return. They don't even know if they'll come home. But if they do come home, we owe them the best health care they've earned, because only 1% of our population serves in uniform today. The majority of that responsibility lies with the Department of Veterans Affairs. But organizations like ours help the VA see themselves serve warriors in urban and rural areas. Maybe there's barriers to care. We help address those barriers to care. And we really do serve the centerpiece of the 4 million, nearly 4 million that have served since 9/11. I was in the Pentagon on 9/11. I remember it like it was yesterday. People that served after 9/11, we owe them the best our country has to offer.
Also wanted to ask, and I'm glad that you came. My dad's a veteran. He was served in Vietnam War. Wanted to know, a lot of times you see like these hats or clothes, and they have, it looks like I guess the awards that, the soldiers win sometimes, or they get from serving. And people wear it sometimes, and you'll see like retired drug dealer or retired hip hop head. And a lot of times I notice that, a lot of vets are upset about it. They don't like it. So what is your thoughts on wearing stuff like that, and even wearing, you see people go to the Army Navy store and they buy uniforms and things like that. What is your thoughts on things like that?
Yeah, I think if you're a veteran, you should be proud of your service. I certainly am proud of my 35 years in the Army. By the way, today's the Marine Corps' birthday. Happy birthday, Marine Corps. 247 years old today. I think veterans should be very proud of their service. I think they should wear distinguishing characteristics, a hat, a pin, I wear my Wounded Warrior Project pin everywhere. Whether people that haven't served to wear the veteran stuff, I think is wrong, but.
So you do think it's disrespectful? So people out there,
I do. Yeah.
Veterans do think it's disrespectful when you wear those hats and shirts. Yeah.
If you're not a veteran, absolutely.
Okay.
It's not something to make a spoof about. Right.
Absolutely.
And then you guys also have a great network of people. I was on the site and looking at some testimonials from people who have been part of the Wounded Warrior Project and how much it's changed their lives. I think that's great too. The network of people that can help support you if you want to come in and they've been through similar things, so that you can have those discussions and meet people who have shared experiences.
Absolutely. We're in 25 cities across the country. We do events, 8,000 events a year all over the country. We're in every big city you can imagine: New York, Chicago, Atlanta, all over the country, San Diego. We have active peer support groups. We have a network of support that's unbelievable. We have a lot of special events going on this weekend in particular in all those big cities, minus Florida where they're facing a hurricane. But getting involved, being there for your brothers and sisters in arms. We got a special on tomorrow, a Veterans Day special on Facebook and YouTube channel. Jesse Palmer's hosting that. Lee Greenwood's singing. It's going to be a great event.
And what does Veterans Day mean to you? What do you suggest people do? I mean, because for a lot of kids, it's a day off of school. It's a day not to work. But what should people really be doing for Veterans Day?
I think at Veterans Day, you should reach out to every veteran you know, whether it's a family member, a loved one, a neighbor. Thank them for their service. Thank them for what they've done for our country. It is a day It's a day to celebrate the exceptionalism of our veterans. And it's a day to reach out to veterans that maybe are in isolation and aren't being recognized. So if you got a neighbor or somebody lives down the block or somebody that maybe doesn't have family, maybe it's an aging veteran, spend time with those veterans. Tell them how important their service and how important it was to the freedoms we enjoy as Americans.
And where can people go if they want to donate, they want to help out, or to get more information if they're a veteran also that needs support?
Our website's exceptional, woundedwarriorproject.org. All one word, woundedwarriorproject.org, O-R-G. At that website, you'll find a way to connect. If you're a veteran, connect with other veterans in your community. Take advantage of the free programs and services we offer in all the areas that you talked about, Angela. We have a jobs program. We have connection events, physical health and wellness, mental health services, all free of charge to the veteran, no cost to the veteran. And it's also a way for supporters to go to that website and make a donation to help veterans heal mind, body, and spirit. We say at Wounded Warrior Project every day is Veterans Day, but certainly the next couple days as we go into Veterans Day, very special day for communities all over the country to recognize their veterans.
All right. Well, we appreciate you joining us and sharing all this information. Again, happy Veterans Day to all the veterans out there, and thank you, General Michael S. Linnington. We really appreciate you as well.
Thank you for your service, too.
Absolutely.
And the work that you're continuing to do for other people.
Thanks for having me on.
Thank you so much. Now we got a shout out to Ida Rodriguez for joining us this morning.
Ida.
Salute to the good sister Ida, man. Make sure you watch Ian Lara's special that Ida directed. It's on HBO Max today, right?
Yep.
Romantic comedy. But shout out to Ian Lara and to Ida. They actually filmed that in Brooklyn, so I went to that whole filming, but he's hilarious. And like he was saying, his mother passed away, right before that. So for him to be able to get back to work and do what he had to do, that to me, that's commendable. I couldn't even imagine. So shout out to Ian.
Yes, and Ida also is putting out another special with somebody named Noose. Y'all know Noose?
I don't.
The Winners 3? Well, both of them premiere today. Ian Lara, romantic comedy, and Noose, the Winners 3. They both premiere today. So salute to Ida. And thank you to Ida for coming on my late night talk show last night. Hell of a week with Neil Brennan, as well as Congressman Jamal Bowman and D.L. Hughley. You can stream that right now on Paramount Plus, okay? If you missed it last night in real time at 11:30 on Comedy Central, you can stream it on Paramount Plus all weekend long. So do that.
All right. Well, you got a positive note?
I do have a positive note. Empathy is seeing with the eyes of another, listening with the ears of another, and feeling with the heart of another. Remember that this weekend.
Breakfast Club, bitches!
Y'all finished or y'all done?